Rangers in chaos, Celtic in meltdown, and a £300 million bombshell that's rocked Ibrox to the core. Thelo Aasgaard makes international history with a 4-goal rampage while barely getting a sniff in Russell Martin's squad. Martin himself clings to his job by a thread as a must-win showdown with Hearts becomes a fight for survival. And just when you think it couldn't get more outrageous, a secret pitch deck is leaked, revealing the Rangers owner's staggering plan to spend hundreds of millions, but not on Rangers. All that, plus Celtic's implosion, opening a title race twist no one saw coming. You're going to want to see every second of this. What a moment for Thelo Aasgaard. The lad's just gone from warming the bench at Ibrox to setting the international stage on fire in front of the world. 4 goals in 30 minutes. Let that sink in. No matter the opposition, that's a clinical masterclass in efficiency. While Erling Haaland was doing his usual wrecking ball routine with 5 of his own, it was Asgard, yes, our Asgard, who turned heads in Norway's record equaling demolition of Moldova. He even walked away with half the match ball shared with Haaland like it was a weekend five-a-side at the local Astro. Absolute scenes. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just some fringe Norway performance against a bunch of part-timers. This was a World Cup qualifier. This was history. The first Rangers player ever to bag an international hat-trick. And let's not forget, the boy only joined us in the summer for £3.5 million from Luton Town, a team who were bouncing around the English lower leagues not long ago. But for all the headlines, for all the fireworks in Oslo, you've got to ask, where's this version of Asgard been in a Rangers shirt? 5 appearances, 0 standouts, a few fitness problems, sure, but we were promised flair, confidence, long-range bullets, and instead we've had glimpses at best. The Norway boss is raving about his versatility and box-to-box energy, while Russell Martin's still trying to figure out where he fits in a Rangers ends, crying out for creativity. With Hearts up next at Ibrox in a must-win clash, the pressure's well and truly on. Celtic are top, we're chasing shadows, and the manager knows anything less than a win puts his job on the chopping block. So, does Asgard's 4-goal heroics guarantee him a start? And if he does start, can he finally deliver in a blue shirt like he just did in red? Let's be brutally honest, if Asgard plays like that for Norway, but goes missing for Rangers, is he really here for the badge, or just passing through until the next move comes calling? 11 matches, 3 wins, 5 draws, 3 defeats, 1 disastrous European collapse, and somehow we've still got folk like Alex McLeish telling you that Russell Martin needs more time. Let's be clear, this is not about being impatient, this is about standards, this is about Rangers. You've drawn the first 4 league games. That's our worst start to a top-flight season in 42 years. 42, that's not early days, that's a full-blown crisis. Now, McLeish is a legend, no doubt, but on this one, he's absolutely wide of the mark. Saying Martin should stay because he's got plans is like saying the Titanic needed more time to turn. Plans mean nothing if you don't have the authority, the structure, or the ability to implement them. And when your idea of a game plan is watching our centre-backs knock the ball back and forth until the clock runs out, you're asking for the booing to start before half-time. Yes, the squad's been overhauled. Yes, there's 13 new players, but whose signings were they? Martin's, Thelwell's. This was their rebuild, and after watching us get humiliated by Club Brugge 9-1 on aggregate, one of the worst results in our European history, you can't just shrug your shoulders and say, give it time. Let's not kid ourselves. It's not like we don't have options. Jose Mourinho is out of work. Mark Van Bommel was already in talks. Steven Gerrard's waiting in the wings, still adored by the Ibrox support. And yet we're stuck with a manager who's turned Rangers into a team. nobody fears and everyone enjoys playing. Even McLeish admits Martin's football is boring, and when an ex-manager is already using words like boring, intense, and lacking quality this early in the campaign, you know there's no smoke without fire. So here's the question that needs asking. If Russell Martin wasn't Scottish, would he already be gone? Or are we just clinging to the idea of one of our own, no matter how far we fall behind Celtic? Well, now, this is the kind of leak that doesn't just raise eyebrows, it rattles the whole Ibrox support to the core. A 50-slide pitch deck from the 49ers Enterprises leaked to the press, laying out a blueprint to raise £120 million to pump into Leeds United, not Rangers, in order to recruit over £300 million worth of players over the next 3 years. And what do you get? A few tall signings, a nod to set-piece stats, and the vague promise of opportunities for Rangers. That's it. Let's break this down. The very group that holds a majority stake in your club is out here pitching Leeds United as their crown jewel. And while Leeds gets grand plans, big budgets, stadium expansion, and Premier League ambition, you're told to be patient while Russell Martin draws 4 matches in a row and gets bounced from Europe by Club Brugge. They say there's no control from one club to the other, just shared vision, mutual opportunity, and apparently a recruitment philosophy that treats players like stocks on a spreadsheet, projected exit value, sub-metric levels, and a refusal to fall in love with players. That might work for a mid-table Premier League business model, but at Rangers, where history, pride, and silverware are non-negotiables, that cold corporate approach doesn't sit right. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. If the 49ers truly see Rangers as an equal piece of the puzzle, why are they building Leeds up with £300 million in projected recruitment and leaving Rangers hanging on tactical experiments and free transfers? We've been told time and again that Rangers will benefit from the shared ownership, but the only thing being shared right now is vague language and second-tier ambition. While Leeds are aiming for a £1 billion valuation by 2030, you're being asked to accept half-finished rebuilds and hope the data team's next spreadsheet turns up a winner. Here's the real question. If the 49ers are ready to invest £300 million into Leeds United, how much are they truly willing to commit to making Rangers a European force again, or are we just the feeder club in their footballing empire? Well, would you look at that? Over in G40, Celtic are making a right mess of their own, and for once, Rangers might just be the side with the lifeline. After all the smugness, all the sly digs about Ibrox's finances, and all the talk of dominance from that lot across the city, their board's silence and their lack of transfer ambition has left their own support absolutely seething. No marquee signings, no plan B, and no answers. Meanwhile, the cracks are starting to show, and they know it. Now, don't get it twisted. Russell Martin's start to life at Ibrox has been nothing short of a disaster. 4 draws to open the league, 17 goals conceded already, and just a 27% win rate. It's been grim. But somehow, despite all that, a win over Hearts on the 13th could drag us to within touching distance of Celtic, a gap of just 3 points, assuming Kilmarnock do the business at Rugby Park. It's staggering, really. You wouldn't believe it if you'd watched us labour through those matches, toothless in attack and nervous at the back. But there's still a door wide open, and Celtic left it unlocked themselves. They thought they could coast the league, sleepwalk through the window, and mock our problems. Now, they've got their own crisis on the boil, and Martin's job might just cling to life because of it. But let's not pretend this match against Hearts is just another 3 points. This is a last chance saloon for Martin. Drop points at Ibrox, and the noise won't just be loud, it'll be deafening. Derek McInnes has got Hearts ticking, and they'll fancy taking advantage of a side that's still unsure of its identity and whose manager is hanging by a thread. The irony is poetic, isn't it? After everything, Rangers might be saved by Celtic's own arrogance. And that brings me to the real kicker. If Martin survives this disaster start only because Celtic are somehow just as bad, does he truly deserve to stay in the job? Are we just accepting mediocrity because our biggest rivals have slipped up too? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. I post videos every day talking about our Rangers, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon.